Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are back in Satisfactory. This is episode 22, and to start off our episode, we're gonna unlock Pipeline Engineering Mark II. I'll show you what this gives us in a second, but the big red button goes boom.
Milestone reached. Improved pipelines and pumps can now be constructed, capable of handling increased throughput of any fluid, as well as providing increased pressure handling for better vertical transport, respectively.
Alright, so yeah, we get Pipeline Mark II and Pipeline Pump. The Mark II is double the capacity as the Mark I, which is from 300 to 600. And then I believe the original pump is 40 and not 50. Let's see. Original pump was 20. So this is 50. Essentially, what that ends up making out is roughly each wall. So this pump, the original pump, gets you two. I think it's 2 walls worth, right? Or how tall are the walls? Let's check real quick. All right, so they're 4 meters. So the normal one gives you 5 walls, while the other one gives you 10. So that's very nice. Oh, not 10. Sorry, math is wrong. Like 15, almost 14. It's in the middle, but you just say it's gonna be really good once we start, like especially our our increased coal generators, because we need to go up a lot because I'm running out of space once I clear all that out. But needless to say, so last time we talked about our tower that's way over there and the things that we are gonna start to do. We tried to do some tests with the railings and all that. So this one I'm going to show you what I've done, and then we're going to do some tests with some trains and have a little fun with it. So I moved this one or the space elevator up 1 level, so it's not on the train level anymore. It's on its own level. I started doing things down there, like, let's go down there real quick. What's this one? I'm going to end up, I think you need to unlock the programmable splitters. But essentially what I'm doing here is, if you can see, so the output goes into the right one and the input is on the left. But the normal smart splitters aren't working because I can only program one thing to go to one side, so I just get clumped up with everything and it just gets a nightmare. But with the programmable splitters, I believe I can put multiple things in this slot. So why I'm going to do that? So say this one's going to be screws for the modular frames and the computers, and so always going to have screws go through this one, and those don't take screws. But needless to say, but then you get to like computers that need plastic, so the next one might be plastic, but it also might be for modular frames, which I'm going to do the encased industrial beams. So I can have multiple things, and then the overflow will just cycle back until the machine needs it. And then, so what I can do is have a bunch of these around, just kind of like a workshop area. So if I need any computers or anything, or whatever, I just put the plan in, and it just starts making them for me once I put the ingredients in the input. That's kind of how I'm thinking I'm going to do it, but we'll see. I just started trying to doing this, and I mean, it's going to take a little bit more unlocking and hiring materials to get right. But that's what I'm going to do here, at the same time as also do the ones that feed the elevator. We talked about that. But let's go. The big thing I've started, I'm very close to finishing, is my steel base. I ended up showing you guys where I dropped off materials for a steel base, and I've built almost 90% of it. And there's going to be one big flaw once we get there that you're going to see, so I'm going to rush over there real quick and just pop there right now. And we're here. So this is the entrance. This is where my train is going to be coming into. And one bad problem I have is this is actually too low of a starting area. So what's going to end up happening, which I kind of already started to build it the way is the trains are going to be picking up over here rather than under here, just because the train stations are too high. But that's not the problem I'm talking about. So is if you can see, I have these 3 ginormous pillars of splitters and mergers. The problem I have is this is for the foundries, and the thing with the foundries is there's 2 outputs, or 2 inputs. So that means these 3 are technically only for iron, and I'll explain what they are real quick. But that means I have to build all 3 of these again somewhere for coal. And as you can see, I'm pretty tight knit on space here. I made it so that this bottom area can be splitters for the iron that goes up into the foundries. And then I also left a little slice here, which has some of the splitters and stuff I need for the coal, but also has some of the stuff that's going through that is trying to hide and make it cleaner and all that. Because essentially what I did with this base was I built it backwards. So what I mean by that is I put all the buildings down, all of them where I think I was going to need them. And then what I ended up doing was I started, well, I didn't start from, it's not completely backwards, but I didn't start with ore splitting. So like in our other ones, we split the ore before we even built any of this. So I built all this before I split the ore. And then hooked them all up so I know that they're all connected and split evenly how they should be without the ore being implemented yet. But that means that I need to split all the ore now. This is going to be splitting iron. The concrete that we're going to be using, it's 1500. I'm going to use different numbers in the miners, and that math works out really nicely, so I'm not going to worry about it. And what I'm talking about is I need 1500, but if I take 450 out of 2 of them, because I need 3 total, if I take out 450 out of 2 of them, they'll split evenly to 10, and then they will cover 2/3 of what I need, because the other one's going to be 600, and that one I'll be able to split down to 15s and then be able to split it into the one that's a partial, and that's the reason I'm splitting it down to 15 is because there is a partial one. So essentially I'm just draining off 15 off of the 600, but needless to say, that's essentially what's going down. So the concrete will be easy. I can do that all on the concrete splitting floor. But for things like iron and coal, I needed a lot of space to do this. So this whole contraption is, I think, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, roughly 5. Yeah, because it stops here. So yeah, 6 by 5, and this is not too bad. And if you can leave a comment down below of how much these actually split, it's actually pretty crazy. So, and I'm going to explain it a little bit right now. So 2 of these are going to be splitting 700 into 10s. Yes, so these are splitting 70 times. But the thing is, the only reason we're doing that is this is a complete edition. These ones still need the mergers for the front end, but this is essentially complete. I need to route all the lines through the mergers. So essentially, I needed to get this 10 off. So now the whole thing is 690, because 690 actually splits off into the 45s for the foundry just perfectly. But also I'm gonna be adding 30 because I already did some splitters. It's a nightmare. So essentially, what I'm trying to do is make the big wall worth 720. So essentially, I'm going to add 30 to this. And then this one is a 700 one too. Like I said, I didn't put the front mergers. And then I'm going to have one line come off this. And then this one is actually split into... sorry, what was it? Oh, 50. This is splitting off into 50 because it's 5 into 10. And these are going to be 15s. And the reason I have to do this is because there is one foundry that I need to output 35 rather than the 45. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take a 15 from here, a 10 from there, a 10 from that one, and that will lead into the 35 foundry that we need. on. Hey, guy. Bessie, you are through the floor. Do you want to get out of here? No, you're just going to bounce? All right. You just listen to me talk? All right, cool. And also with the one that split off with 15, this one right here, we also need 4 more lines to add to these two. Why is that? So that's 690 and that one's 690. But I need them to be 720 because I already did the splitters up here that are splitting into 16. And 720 into 45 is 16. So, essentially that's what's going on. And my... What the heck is this? That's odd. Must have done that. Alright, but needless to say, so I'm gonna have to end up, once this is done, build a third one, or a second one of all 3 of these. So, but the thing is, where am I gonna do it? And the major place I'm probably gonna do it, and it'll probably be easier for my lines, is I'm actually gonna do it up by the coal. Coal is way up here. The only reason I'm doing it this way, or as of right now, the only reason I'm doing it this way is because there's really nothing else up here. There is a sulfur mine that is to the west over here. I believe, I'll try to find it just quick. There's a drop. Oh yeah, so if you see in far distance, there's a drop pod up there. The drop pod just down one cliff, I believe there's a sulfur mine right there. And it's pure, but knowing that, I'm thinking I'm actually going to take that towards my coal generator eventually. And that'll be where I'm going to make explosives and stuff, because I have 2 normal sulfur mines down there, or nodes down there. And then I'll have a pier. So essentially I have 2 piers into 4 normal coal and 1 pier node. So I'm gonna have a little extra coal, but that's probably gonna be good. So, but needless to say, I think that's what's gonna end up happening. Is I'm gonna take that sulfur node over there, but this whole area doesn't really have anything besides mobs. So this is gonna be, and it's not horribly big. So I think I'm just gonna take up this little square section. I'm gonna make it up, and then that's where I'm gonna be splitting off of my coal. And you're like, you might be thinking, well, then you're gonna have like 70 or like 240 lines, 210 lines going down here. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split them into what I need them to be. There's going to be 2 lines of 720, 1 line of 35, and then another line of whatever the rest is. I think it's 675, something like that. Needless to say. And then so I'll have 4 lines coming down, and then the 4 lines will go down there to their respective areas and start splitting off. But yeah, and up here I think is this concrete splitting at up on the top. Eventually be hidden, but yeah. So this is gonna be my steel, and I didn't really say anything about it. So this whole plant will be making 200 steel pipes, 200 steel beams, and 100 encased industrial beams. That's what will be coming out of this big old factory I got going. But yeah, so the one thing I wanted to start testing though was, I think I need some supplies. I think I need, I think I need a computer and stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna run back to base real quick. I'll be right back with when I have all the materials, and then we can talk about what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm back. So, what I want to end up testing is, 1, there is train collision effects. I want to see what they look like first, so got 2 trains, let's hook them up and see what happens. Alright, so they do hit, and then derail. Alright, so that was a good test, but my main test is this. I want to be able to put a train here, and I want to see if I can make maybe some kind of railroad crossing. Oh, I didn't make that. So, and what I mean by that is, so just like any other foundation, I want to see where the threshold is if they're gonna get crashed. So let's start with this. So, and the reason I'm doing this is for vehicles. Eventually, I want to run a highway alongside the trains where the trains will be isolated still, but there's going to be points where I'm going to need to cross the tracks. And I want to see if I can make little railway areas just in case I need to go to cross somewhere. But let's see if this actually derails this. Hopefully, it will clip somewhat, and then we can see. So let's see. It does clip. Nice. Okay. This one is too drastic because it's like literally clipping. So let's try the one rampers and see if this works. So let's do this. That's fine. I'll do 2. And then let's do this. And then okay, so this is cool. Oh, and it actually is, at least for walking, it actually works for just walking right over. Oh, okay. Cool. All right, so that works. Next thing we need to try, though, is actually having something go over it. And, of course, I didn't grab materials for it. I need rubber and more beacons. So, yeah, I need to go get rubber. So I'll be right back right now. All right, guys. I'm actually back at my ironworks base. I just wanted to... I had a commenter say that I didn't bring up that we actually had this all running. I did hook it all up. As you can see down here some ore in the machines and everything, and then the wire coming out, and then obviously over here the modular frames, and then over there you're going to have your iron rods and iron plates. You can see all the ingots all over the place. So yeah, this base is fully operational. The only problem we're having is, I'll show you by looking in here before this train talk, is this stuff's all full. And the only reason it's full is because I haven't connected my train station back at the base into the sorter. I have the sorter all set up. We talked about that before. I just haven't connected the train slot to it. We might end up end this video doing that, but let's get back to what we're doing right now, and I'll go back. I'll flip to when I have the materials for a vehicle, and then I'll be back right now. Alright, we're back. So we have... Let's split up our fuel real quick. Made some fuel so we can run these things. So I made a truck and a tractor. So let's try the tractor first. Pump it, pump it, pump it. No reaction at all. Oh, okay, well, tractor works, that's good. Let's put that there real quick. Alright, and then the truck. No reaction at all. Well, that's fantastic, and I'm dead. Alright, so yeah, that's going to work out perfectly. That's exactly kind of what I was going for. Was where you can still see the track, but you can still go over it just like a normal railroad. Awesome. And then this also doesn't derail, so that's even better. Alright, well, cool, guys. So that's going to be a great success. And then we have... I do have the material for it. And essentially what's end up going to happening is, because we have to clear at least this little outpost, I think my train station will be roughly right here. So we'll make it a little alcove for it real quick. I know it's pretty big, so I don't know exactly how wide I need to make it. All I know is it needs to come down Main Street. There we go. Does it actually fit? Oh, that actually perfect. And then yeah, then the train's just gonna come down here. I'm gonna have the 3 freight loaders over here, and then just have the materials drop into them. And that'll be my steel factory. So again, next time I show you this, it'll be 100% running. It'll have all the splitters, even the ones up top, bringing everything down. And yeah. So, and then now we have our test bed of our railroad system where we can start making vehicle passages over railways, which is exciting because before you either had to just clip through them or you just had to go way over them. But now we can run them side by side. It's leaving me up a lot more options about how to go about things, which is very good. Always like to have more options. But yeah, so let's head back to base. I will probably end it up on showing you guys how I'm going to connect the train lines to the sorter line. So I'll be there, or I'll start right when I get back to base. So let's go. Alright, we are back. And for this demonstration, these are the 3 lines that are coming from the train station. I already had them put out, but I just need to merge them together so we can start unloading the trains. Let's do that real quick. Boom, boom, boom. You can see, yeah, stuff starts pouring out. I need to go get materials for the faster ones, but just for a generalized thing of what's going on here. And then I'm going to run it to this wall. Destroy this wall real quick. Eventually we're going to have it merged to all of them. So I don't need to make this hole here. I can make it down here. So let's... So let's attach that. And put a wall here with a hole in it. Boom. And boom. There we go. That's all going to lead down into my sorters. And essentially, eventually just start splitting off. Only problem with this is I have not retrofitted everything with higher belts. So I'm going to go grab the materials and do a little build montage after that. So I will be right back.
We're back, and we need to do our building montage of getting this stuff through, so let's do this, and that, and let's build this speedy entrances. What's going on here? And
Okay, so we ended up hooking up the whole thing. Oh, this is where we're having a hard time. Everything's trying to go fast, but this guy is going slow. So now let's just whip it on in there. Yep. So all this stuff should be whipping around, going in down to our sorter, and ending up top. Some screws, wires, everything. Iron plates. Yep. Alright, so now we're unloading that, and eventually it'll get to the point where it'll be done unloading because it's so full right now, but needless to say. And then it'll separate down there. We already have all the splitters set up, so we should be start getting this material up top. We'll end up fixing this stuff to make it look prettier later on, but this is what we got for so far. Alright, boys and girls. So we're about 90% done with our steel base, and after that steel base, we're gonna end up making our I'm gonna call it our engine base, which will be rotors, stators, and motors being made. Which I think I have a place mapped out for it. I have to look into it, but still, some little things we're going to be doing is finishing the train for the steel as well. I should really start making my hypertube system up here. So essentially what I'm going to do is these alcoves over here, I'm going to be having hypertubes going out, and they converge with the middle monorail, because we're going to have two. So essentially, you see how compared to our bridge down there, this one's offset. I'm going to have another train one come out here just so we can have more open channels. And down the middle is going to be running our hypertube system. But once I figure out exactly how we're going to logistically do that, I'll end up showing you and explaining a little bit more what I'm going to do. I just don't know exactly how it's going to work yet. I'm starting getting a little tight in here after I started putting everything up, and especially once I put the cosmetic stuff to make it look nicer. It's going to get a little cramped up here. But needless to say, we have still have a lot more room for other things and moving things around, so it's no big deal. But the test went well that we needed to do, and I hope eventually when I make my freeway alongside the train that that'll actually come in handy later on. And as we still just have iron and stuff pile in, we'll start getting steel in here very shortly. Just need to fix that problem of building those giant splitters again. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. For this type of content, I'm still doing it once a week. I'll have a release on Wednesdays. And yeah, guys, please watch my WoW videos too if you're interested. I'm getting a little backlog, so I might be having some more series come out. Let me know if there's any games you want me to play down in the comments. I'm thinking Final Fantasy XIV lore series and possibly Star Wars of the Old Republic, starting a lore series on that. In addition to that being a lore series, it would also be a first playthrough. So that might be a nice little Let's Play / lore series. Other than that, guys, thank you for showing up and watching this video, and have a good day, guys. Bye.